Wait, did I start the video? Oh, fuck yeah, I did. This is my rifle! There are many! Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, we're gonna do a rifle breakdown. Hey guys, really quick before we start the video, follow me on Instagram because I have 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and only 200 on Instagram. And I do a lot of community interactions on Instagram, including polls, which decide what videos are gonna be next, such as this one right here. So yeah, check out my Instagram, check out the Italian Irregulars Instagram, and let's get into this beautiful Mk18. Okay, so I've done a video about my rifle before, but this time it's going to be a little bit different. Before I actually talk about gun parts, I want to talk about AEGs, or the internals of my rifle. If you do not care for those boring internals that actually make the rifle function and only care about the optical choices and stuff, skip to the next timestamp. I probably marked it in the video. This gun itself is a Begadi Sport Nova Mk18. I bought this one used from Associat, which is a German airsoft community on the internet. The user that had it before me tuned it, so he shimmed the gears, which basically just means the gears that turn in the gearbox fit a little bit better together because they're like they're shimmed down. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm not an expert on this stuff, which makes it shoot better, sound better, and just be more efficient. So yeah, that's one cool thing about buying used guns. You can get tuned guns off the shelf, you could say. Now, what did I add or replace internally? Well, the lower receiver is no longer original. It has 0 markings because the one that I had before had a crack right here. If you actually watch my old rifle breakdown, it's still visible there. And I had it like fixed with like zip ties and stuff. You should watch that video, dude. It's insane. And the cool thing about Begadi is their customer support is really good. So I sent them an email. They said, hey, yeah, send it in. I sent them my lower, took out the gearbox beforehand, and they sent it back to me. I had to learn how to take out the gearbox, etc. Was that complicated? Yes. Did it work? Also yes. So if I can do it, you guys can probably do it as well because I'm cognitively dysfunctional. Hey guys, editing Blowing here. I forgot to mention something really important on this topic. Germany, guns above 0.5 joules need the so-called F5-Eck, which is the pattern you can see right here on the screen, somewhere on their lower receiver or on the gun itself. If you don't have that and the gun is over said joule border, the gun is illegal, which is why I had to send it into a professional airsoft shop to get that pattern on there legally, which is why I had to send it to Begadi, my old one, so I can't reuse that one, and they sent me a new one with the F. So yeah, pretty cool from them, but stupid German gun laws again. So yeah, new lower receiver. I also, yeah, that's one thing. What I should add is the lower is a generation 5 lower and everything else is like generation 3 or 4. So it's like out of spec by like a couple nanometers, you could say. So if I want to have the bolt hole open work, I can't pull it up too much. I need to pull it down, the charging handle, and that will stay open. In here, I have a hop-up from Begadi, the Neptune. It's a full metal CNC made hop-up that is customizable, like everything from the magwell to the thing that goes into the barrel and the end that goes into the gearbox or the nozzle. Everything is customizable, which is really great. I, however, have no idea how that works. I sent it to a field where I usually play at, the block, and these guys know what they're doing. They fix it up for me. No gear jams, no problem with mags, not feeding, and etc. And that for a pretty good price. I think I paid about like 35 bucks for them setting everything up for me, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's that. Internally, this runs a, I think, 6.01 or 6.02 millimeter inner barrel, and so far I had no problems because I'm not really a long range type of guy. I like to close in and destroy the enemy. Everything else on this gun is pretty much stock, and I pretty much like it. The one cool thing that the user before me did is also add a radiant charging handle, or a radiant style charging handle, which looks just sick. And also the suppressor. Funny thing is, he had the suppressor wrapped in some kind of weird tape. I didn't know it looked like this, so when I got it and I unwrapped the suppressor and I saw it was a CAC suppressor shortened, I was like, holy shit, like these things are expensive and rare in Germany. So I was pretty happy with that. Okay, so you've either watched me yap about internals now or skipped to this timestamp. So let's get into my setup. Okay, going tip to butt. This is a shortened CAC suppressor, of course non-functional because an AEG makes a sound in here and that it doesn't travel through the barrel. This is a, I want to say, you know what, never mind, I don't know what this light is called, so I'm just gonna blend the name in later on. Up on here is a dummy Engel because again, lights and lasers are illegal in Germany on guns. Gay, really gay, can't change it, so this is what I have. It's a non-functional light. Non-functional Engel, just for the looks, for the LARP, because that's what we like to do. I have the cable with the pressure pad for my light under a little rubber band or ranger band, and that works fine. But I also have it glued down with double-sided tape, and it has been holding on fine for me so far. Going further back on the Mk18 rail is my little Sling swivel from AliExpress. It's a repro one from Magpul, and it only costs like $5 or $7. It hasn't been holding up really good. If you watch my videos or watch my gameplay, I swing around my gun a lot. I let it hang, I throw it away when I switch to my pistol and stuff. It has been holding on, no problem, for like $7 again. Further in the back is my aim point I got from my friend Lewis. Shout out, bro. I think it's an Evolution gear, I'm not sure. And I have that on an AliExpress Unity riser. The reason being, I'm like 194 centimeters tall, so I'm long, and my neck is pretty long as well. So when I go aim, this builds a pretty stable and comfortable shooting position for me, because in Airsoft I have no recoil to control or anything like that. So I basically shoot like this, and this is just a more upright shooting position. And also I can still get a cheek weld if I want to, no problem, because my face and my neck are pretty long. Then on the back there would be my magnifier. This is also from Evolution gear. The magnifier itself came also from Lewis. Shout out, dude. He also gave it to me with a, oh, what's it called? These little like QD mounts that CAC uses. CAG and not CAC. But I decided obviously to go with a Unity one, just so it would be behind the riser. I have the place where I mount my QD riser marked with a blue pen. So if you look right here, there's the block that goes into that row, and I just line that up, and that way I always have the magnifier at the same position with the same eye relief. Now, why a flip to center magnifier? It's pretty simple. From the front, the magnifier is protected a little bit better, so if I play outdoors and I get shot, there's a higher chance of BBs hitting the Unity mount or the red dot itself instead of the unprotected magnifier. But if I would have a flip to side, it would be completely exposed and up to danger. Now obviously, because of its QD nature, if I go into a CQB field, I just take it off, right? I don't need to risk my magnifier where I don't need it. And back here is a Radian charging handle, again, pretty cool. And then just a standard stock. I also have a piece of paracord right here, so I can either mount my sling on this little sling mount end plate on the inside here and here, so I would have better shoulder transition abilities, or if I'm on an outdoor field, I would mount it back here, because that way you can't switch your shoulders as easily. But what you can do is you can swing it on your back or on your side, and it doesn't wiggle around as much if you need to carry a person, for example, or a heavy pack or something. So mission drives the gear, ha ha ha. Depending on where I play and what the scenario is, I have a different sling setup. Speaking of sling, this is the same sling I had on my plastic G36 and my Specna Arms URGI. It's from Krydex or Ido Gear? Krydex, this is Krydex sling, and for Airsoft it's like unbeatable for the price I paid. I paid sub $30 for this. The multicam looks really good. My friend, whose kit we will discuss in a later video, has a cheaper sling that isn't from Krydex, and the multicam looks slightly off. Here it looks like the real stuff, so that's cool. And it's high quality. I've had it for like 3 years now. It hasn't ripped or anything. Everything still works fine. The QD swivels or whatever they're called also work fine. And the only thing I've added is a little bit of camo tape holding down the excess strap, so it doesn't wiggle around or shorten or lengthen itself. I'll just show you really quick the way I mount it. Is to take the front end with the pull strap and I mount it in my Magpul sling mount. And then if I'm in a CQB environment, I mount it back here, because that way it is easier. I just smack myself in the face. I am a genius, because that way it is easier to switch shoulders. But mostly what I would do if I'm in a pure CQB field and I still want to wear a sling, because I have a pistol, so if I drop my rifle, I don't drop it on the floor, but it just hangs on me, right? I have it like this on the shortest possible position, and that way it's just like no-brainer switching shoulders. Super easy. I can do this all day. I will do this all day. This will be the rest of the video now. If I am on a outdoor field, I would just mount it on the outside. So now it sits on me like this, and what this allows me to do is either stash it to the side like this, turn it around, or sling it over my back like this, or in a different way, if I need both my hands free with space in the front and not my rifle dangling around. But as you can probably tell, it is harder to switch shoulders, although it's not impossible, but this gets in the way because it's pulled downward here. You can see my trigger finger is on the sling right now and not on the trigger itself. It's certainly possible, but not as fast. But again, if I'm on an outdoor field, I don't need to be switching.
Okay, so cool, my phone died once again. What I was trying to say is, on an outdoor field, I don't need to be as fast switching the sides or shoulders, because I'm outdoors, and if I play in a CQB environment, I know that I will need to be switching shoulders very fast, which is when I will switch to a different sling mounting option.
Here we are. While you were gone, I was yapping about my magazines and my optics, so we'll just, go again. Now, the most important thing in my opinion on the gun is your mags, because if your mags don't work, you can have the most expensive gun, but still not shooting. The magazines that I have are battle legs, which are my 1 through 5 on my belt, and my magazine number 6 and 7, don't you dare, are from Begadi. One thing I was demonstrating is how easy they can be flung out of your rifle when reloading. And what happened actually is, these cheap magazines from battle legs, which cost like 10 bucks a pop, I'll get into that later, they held up fine for over a year now, because I've had these for long. The Begadi one fell apart. I can just now take out the inner mag this way because something chipped off, but easy fix. You just take some tape, electrical tape, tape it up right here, and it's still fine. A little info on magazines, especially cheap magazines, have the problem that the springs are too weak to actually push up to last between 20 and 50 BBs, because the pressure from the hop up is too high combined with the weight from the BBs. So what you have to do is take apart your mag, take out the spring, lengthen it, maybe oil it up a little bit with silicone oil or grease or something, but only very lightly, because you don't want to grease up or oil up your hop up and inner barrel, and then put it together again. If you want to know how I did that, or how you can do this with your mags, watch my video on that. I'll link that at the end of this video, but you can also just find it in my playlist, I think general info. So yeah. One more thing that's probably important. On most fields, you'll need a barrel sock. You can also just use a sock, literally, but this is just easier. You put it on, and for example, put it on your grip or in your magazine, and that way you can't shoot anybody. So if I would shoot now, obviously these would be caught right here. And because these things are so tiny and light, I can put this anywhere on my kit. If I just roll this up like so, I could put it in my pockets on my pants or jacket. But what I am a big fan of is actually having all your stuff on your kit. So your belt, plate carrier, your helmet. Because what happens sometimes is when you pack for a game day, you forget some things. In, for example, your multicam trousers that you wore last time, you still have your barrel sock. But now you're wearing the, Desert Tiger Stripe trousers. And now you don't have a barrel sock, you need to buy one. That sucks, right? Might be only $5, but those $5 could be spent on White Monster, Red Bull Zero, Snickers, or more BBs to shoot more kids. Players. So what I would recommend is just put them into your UP pouch or anywhere basically. And also a little PSA, what I do, depends on how you store your airsoft guns, but I store them sitting upright like so. So what I do is I put the barrel stock over so no dust or dirt or anything can get into the barrel. Keep that in mind. Anyways, last topic for this day, the optics themselves. Both the magnifier and the red dot are from Evolution Gear. I don't know about America and Asia, but in Europe these are the best websites for replica, good quality optics, especially for the price. I've had a Foco Hunter red dot from Amazon before. Costs roughly the same as a Mk18 from Evolution Gear, but way worse quality than this one, and also doesn't look correct. So I'll give you a quick ADS on both my magnifier and my red dot, and just so you know, right here is a Vector Optics lens protector that I put some electrical tape underneath just so it fits better and tighter. One thing to note is on the top here, if you want to go from 0 to 9 immediately, there's a lot of resistance before you can actually go to 9. After that it's easy again. And also if you want to go, 10. If you want to go from 10 to 0, also a lot of resistance. Then afterwards, resistance clears up immediately. So you can feel, even in the dark, what setting you are. So, now I'm just gonna focus. I hate this. There we are. Fucking hell. Okay, so here's the dot. So this is 1, and then we're just going up. Sometimes there's a little bit of a, like, it turns off in between settings, but you know, doesn't really matter. And you can see this thing gets insanely bright, so I'll just show you in daylight. Doxing myself, you can see it's really bright, even against a really cloudy sky or the snow, no problem at all. Combined with a magnifier, you can see I'm really bad at filming this. This is roughly what it looks like for the magnifier. So yeah, you can zoom in a lot. About, yeah, like this. Just like. This is 3x, so this is what the magnifier is. The elites don't want you to notice, but you can actually stalk your neighbors with magnifiers. I've been in the magnified cock chair for 3 times now. I'm just kidding. Literally and for legal reasons. I'm kidding. Don't do that. So, that's it with my rifle setup. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, recommendations, or just general comments, again, leave them in the comments. Please like, and also check out my Instagram for more stuff to come. And until we see each other next time, LARP.